Would you trust a young, energetic body to tell you it's dying from the inside out? Well, that's exactly what's happening to thousands of young adults, and no one is noticing. This deadly cancer doesn't scream, doesn't hurt right away, and doesn't send clear signals. While everyone's focused on the more famous diseases, pancreatic cancer is quietly gaining ground. And the most connected generation in history is disconnected from its own body. What's terrifying isn't just the rise in cases. It's how easily this cancer is winning. Why? Because it's deceptive. Because its early signs are subtle, ordinary, and because even doctors hesitate to suspect it in younger patients. But the truth is a mild stomach ache, a recent diabetes diagnosis, or unexplained weight loss might be more than they seem. And if you ignore them today, you might not have the chance to understand them tomorrow. It sounds unbelievable, but pancreatic cancer is becoming one of the biggest threats to young adults' health in the United States. For a long time, this disease was seen as something that only affected older adults, but the latest data paints a terrifying shift. A study published by JAMA in April 2025 revealed a significant increase in cases among people aged 15 to 34. That means teens and young adults are now being targeted by a killer most people haven't even heard of. And the worst part? It strikes silently, often disguised as common, or completely absent symptoms. Unlike other cancers, pancreatic cancer rarely shows itself early on. It's the classic wolf in sheep's clothing. By the time your body starts shouting, the damage is often done. And that's exactly what makes it so dangerous. Behind a sudden abdominal pain or an unexplained drop in weight, there could be a serious condition taking root. Young adults, full of energy and future plans, are completely unprepared, mentally or medically, for a diagnosis this severe. Most don't even consider it a possibility. What makes this even more alarming is what's coming next. Pancreatic cancer is projected to surpass breast cancer and become the second leading cause of cancer death. That's right. And when you look at how fast it's rising among young people, it's clear something is being overlooked. Many doctors still downplay symptoms when the patient is young. They automatically blame stress, gastritis, or anxiety, and that precious window for early diagnosis is lost. And when the truth comes out, it's often too late. That's why talking about this with the people you care about could make all the difference. Sharing this video might literally save a life, including your own. With so much information out there, it's no longer okay to pretend this threat isn't real. If you're finding value in this straight-up, real-world conversation, take a second to like the video, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Up next, we'll dive into the early warning signs and risk factors that are being missed, even by doctors. You know that weird abdominal pain that comes and goes? Or that sudden weight loss without a diet, without the gym, without even trying? These are two of the most overlooked early signs of pancreatic cancer. And here's why. No one thinks something this serious could be hiding behind symptoms so vague. Jaundice, that yellowish tone in the skin and eyes, is another massive red flag that often slips by. But while these signals are brushed off as nothing, the disease keeps moving forward. Other signs like dark urine, pale stools, itching all over the skin, and even a recent diabetes diagnosis should all raise alarms. A lot of people don't know this, but developing diabetes out of the blue, especially after turning 30, can be directly linked to pancreatic cancer. That's because tumors can mess with how your body produces insulin. So what looks like a random blood sugar spike might actually be your body's first cry for help. Yep, your body talks, but you have to listen carefully enough to hear it. Now let's talk risk factors. Smoking, belly fat, sedentary lifestyle, chronic pancreatitis, family history, and BRCA gene mutations are just the tip of the iceberg. Sounds far off? Think again. Think about how many young adults live on fast food, sleep poorly, stress constantly, and smoke just to relax. No exaggeration, this modern lifestyle is laying down the perfect foundation for pancreatic cancer to thrive. And most people still think it's something they won't have to deal with until much later in life. The saddest part? The healthcare system often isn't ready to connect the dots. Many doctors still brush off these symptoms in younger patients, ignoring risk factors and leaning towards safer, less alarming diagnoses. That delays testing, cuts short the response time, and slashes survival chances. And that's exactly why knowledge is power. When you know the patterns, you know what to look for and what to demand. And this takes us straight to the next big challenge: why early diagnosis is still the hardest piece of the puzzle. Catching pancreatic cancer early is like finding a needle in a haystack. Most standard tests just can't see what's happening inside, and that delays everything. MRIs, CT scans, PET scans, endoscopic ultrasounds, they're effective, but often only used when symptoms become more obvious. And even then, you usually need a blood test for tumor markers like CA19-9 or even a biopsy to confirm it. Bottom line, if no one suspects it, no one investigates it, meaning no real shot at a cure. Surgery remains the only real chance for a cure. But here's the catch. It only works in the early stages before the tumor spreads. And as we've seen, those early signs are vague, nearly invisible, and early diagnosis is still a rare privilege. That's why most people find out way too late, when all that's left is palliative care. Knowing your family history and paying attention to sudden changes in your body could be the one thing that tips the scale in your favor. But here's the good news. While early diagnosis is tough, prevention is totally within reach and incredibly powerful. Quitting smoking, cutting back on alcohol, maintaining a healthy weight, avoiding ultra-processed foods, and staying active are all proven ways to reduce your risk. Want something practical? Swap soda for lemon water, cut back on fried foods, walk 30 minutes a day, and don't skip checkups. Tiny decisions you make each day can quietly build a wall between you and a silent killer. If pancreatic cancer runs in your family, or if you carry genetic syndromes like BRCA, your vigilance needs to be laser-focused. Preventive medicine isn't just for older folks. It's a must for anyone who wants to live fully and for a long time. In today's non-stop world, slowing down to take care of yourself is a smart act of rebellion. And now that you've unlocked all this information, it's hard not to wonder what other silent threats could be affecting your body. Maybe even something that looks as harmless as a food you eat every day. Now that you know all this, are you still going to treat your body like it's invincible? The truth is, behind every "I'm fine" might be a problem growing silently day after day. And if you've made it this far, it's because something inside you already knows that ignoring the signs is no longer an option. So tell me, how many warnings has your body given you that you chose to brush off? If today's video taught you something that could save your life or someone else's, make it count. Share this video, drop a comment about what stood out most, and subscribe to the channel so we can keep learning together. Because here, we're not just talking to inform, we're here to transform. And if this shocked you, wait until you see the video about certain fruits that seem healthy but are secretly weakening your legs. Yep, you read that right. And the worst part? You wouldn't even notice. Go check it out. Your body deserves the best care, and your mind deserves the best answers.